I'm glad you mentioned intranasal vaccines. You wrote a great piece about that. I believe it was in the Scientific American. Could you explain that for people who are new to this concept? Could you explain some of the advantages of an intranasal vaccine, especially with this virus?
Right. So with the shots, we get in our bloodstream, we get, IgG antibodies to various parts of the virus, particularly the spike protein. But we don't get long-lasting immunoglobulin A, the type of antibody that we need in our nose and upper airway. We get some of that, but that's not what it's directed. It's a blood-specific strategy. The nasal vaccine is for an upper airway protection, which is how this virus gets into us. And there you are going after mucosal immunity and with this type of antibody of IgA. So they are very complementary approaches. And had we had effective intranasal vaccines and we're using them widely, by the way, I think they would be even more popular than shots. We would really hopefully be able to squash the even Delta, because that's where we're leaking in our nose and our upper airway. That's where the spread and these cases are happening among vaccinated. Obviously, the vast majority are on the unvaccinated, but the ones that are occurring as breakthroughs are people because they don't have mucosal immunity. Now, by the way, so they don't have enough neutralizing antibodies in their blood either, many people. But what they do have is T cells and memory B cells that help protect their lungs and their body from getting hospitalizations and deaths. So that whole principle is that your cellular immunity would kick in, even though your neutralizing antibodies would fade. That works for real severe disease, but it didn't really work well for preventing these infections post-vaccination.
So in other words, a intranasal vaccine, if one could be developed and put out to market, could not only prevent potentially, severe COVID, hospitalizations and death, but also really help curtail the spread of the virus.
Right, exactly. We had a pretty good anti-transmission strategy until Delta, but if we ever needed another one, whether it's a universal sarbecovirus vaccine or intranasal or both, this is the time. I mean, I wish we'd had them ready before, but it's not too late. We don't know what's going to be happening after Delta. I hope we won't ever see anything nearly this bad, but we should be ready.